Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of English with me, Gijo Matthew. Hope you are all fine and going on well. As usual, we can begin our session with a small warm-up activity.
What do you see first? Three bears. If the first thing that caught your eye was three big gray bears, you have an analytical way of thinking. Mountains. If you saw mountains first and only then recognized that they look like bears, your style of thinking is intuitive.
I have certain expectations about you for this particular session. Be attentive throughout the session, think in your own way, and ready to learn. Moving on to the learning objective for this particular session, that you will be able to explain the plot of the story. Before moving on to today's session, I would suggest you to grab your pen or pencil, couple of A4 papers, your English notebook and learner's book. If you are not having these materials beside yourself, please pause the video here, grab all these items and come back as fast as you can. Hope you are all back and ready. Very good. We can move on to the essential question for this particular session. What is a plot of the story? Pause the video here. Write the answer in your notebook. What do you think a plot of the story is? And come back. Hope you have done. Some of you got the idea clearly, some are a little bit confused. Don't worry. By the end of this session, you will get more idea about the plot of the story for sure. There exist millions of stories in English language. We can see each and every one of those stories are different from one another. But when we look very closely, we can see certain elements that are present in each and every one of those stories are similar. Like we can see the presence of characters in almost every stories. There will be a setting or background in which the story is taking place. We can see a beginning where story and the character is introduced. We can see a middle where the character has to face a problem. We can see the ending of the story where the character finds out a solution and overcomes the challenge. When we look closely, these elements will be more or less similar in almost every stories. Today, we are going in a little bit deeper. We are going to discuss about the plot of the story. Each and every story will have an introduction, a beginning, where the characters, the setting, and all the essential details about story are introduced. Then, after that, we can see the character will be having an issue, otherwise has to face a challenge, otherwise he or she has to overcome a situation. Then we can see the character will be trying a number of efforts as he can or she can in order to survive, otherwise to overcome, otherwise to find out solution for the issue, problem or challenge. Then he manages to overcome all the challenges. As we studied, we call all these processes as middle. But here we are going on a little bit deeper. In the middle part of the story, we can see an issue will be faced before the character. There will be a build-up of the problems or challenges or issues. And after that, we can see a climax where the character will be having a confusion about what to do. And the readers, we also will be having a little bit confusion about what is going to happen next. We can see there will be an element of suspense will be there. and we'll be excited to know what is going to happen next. Then we can see the resolution where somehow the character manages to overcome the challenge, find out a solution to the issue or problem. Altogether, the build up, climax, and resolution is called a plot of the story. Then comes the ending, the winding up of a story, either happy ending, otherwise sad ending, otherwise totally providing confusion of whatever happens. Hope you got an idea about the plot of the story. From the moment the problem is introduced, the build up, the climax, having a little bit tension here and there, an element of suspense and keeping us on the pinpoint of thrilling, then the resolution. From the story, we call all these things together as plot. Now take a look at this particular picture. It will help you to get the idea about the plot a little bit more. Now take a look at this particular book blurb that you can see on page number 55 of your learner's book. It will be giving you a little bit idea about the story Harry Smart. Go through it carefully and come back. Now we are moving on to a small activity. Here I'm going to provide a number of sentences from the story Harry Smart. You'll get a clear cut idea about what are things, events that are happening in the story from the book blurb. But here it is not given in proper order. We have to order these sentences according to the sequence of events. Take your time, order these sentences and come back. If you want, you can take a look at page number 58 of your learner's book. Hope you have done. Very good. Now we are moving on to second activity. Here I'm gonna provide the exact story Harry Smart. You have to go through this particular story and explain the plot from the story. Take your time, finish up this work and come back. Hope we have done. Very good. Now is the time for us to find out some answers from the story. Question number one. What is Mart's full name? Take your time. Find out the full name of Mart from the story. Write that down in your notebook. Come back. Moving on to the second question. What three feelings did Harry have when Mart first spoke to him? Find out this answer. Write down in your notebook and come back. Moving on to the third question. What body language showed Harry's feelings? Find out this answer from the story. Write this also down in your notebook and come back. Moving on to the fourth question. Where did Matt think he was being sent? Find out this answer from the story. Write this also down in your notebook. Come back. Moving on to the last and final question, number 5. What words tell you that Matt is happy with Harry's family? Find out this answer Write this down in your notebook, finish up this activity, come back. Hope you have completed. Very good. Moving on to activity number 4. Here we have to go through the story Harry Smart once again and prepare a reading log based on the story. Hope you remember about the reading log. You have to write the date, write the title, name of author, write the genre and your comment. Take your time, finish up this activity, come back. Hope we have completed. Very good. Now it's the time for us to wind up our session. We started the session with a small warm-up activity. I showed you which are my expectations about you for this particular session. We discussed the learning objective for this particular session, that you will be able to explain the plot of a story. Throughout the session, we were discussing about the plot. In one of the activities, you explained the plot of the story Harry Smart. Then I gave you a set of instructions that you have to follow throughout the session. Then I asked you an essential question: what is the plot of a story? Probably now you can answer: the plot of the story means the building up of a problem, the climax, and finding out a solution in resolution. Altogether, the build up, the climax, and resolution are called the plot of a story. In the first activity, you are asked to go through a book blurb about Harry Smart and order the sequence of events appropriately from the story Harry Smart. In the second activity, we have gone through the exact story Harry Smart and explained plot from it. In the third activity, we find out answers for certain questions. In the fourth activity, we prepared a reading log of the story Harry Smart. Now it's a time for a small assignment. Write a small paragraph describing how you might react if you came across an animal that could talk back to you. Take your time, finish up the activities and assignment. I'll be meeting you very soon with another video lesson. Till then, stay home, stay safe, take care of yourself.